What is going on, everybody? Dudes Who Bet Daily, November 10th, 2022. I am officially pissed at Maction after Buffalo blows a 24-7 halftime lead. That made me kind of salty. Not going to lie, shouldn't have a freshman quarterback run for 200-plus yards against you, but hey, that is the past. We are here for the future. Let's talk about tonight's action here. Papa Dude, you wanted to talk about this. So we'll start out on the ice, and we'll start out with a train wreck of a St. Louis Blues team, minus 160 tonight. Not sure they deserve to be minus 160 against anyone facing the Sharks. What the hell's going on, Papa Dude?
Well, you just took the words right out of my mouth. First of all, how can a team as bad as this be minus 160? They've lost 8 in a row. They haven't competed hardly in any of those 8 games. They are in big trouble. And, you know, the salary cap and everything really affects a lot of what you do. And the Blues have always kind of been, if you got a couple of young guys that you think are going to be stars, you sign them for 4 or 5 years. And their theory is that's the prime of their career, and you've got them locked up. And if they're still productive after that, then you think about re-signing them again. And it's worked pretty much. They have failed with 3 young players, and it's got them strapped. They gave big money to Colton Parayko, who is absolutely awful. What are you going to do with him, right? We all thought he was going to be a star, didn't we? Didn't we?
Yeah, I expected Colton Parayko to be good, but he never had that same defensive edge that you got from Pronger or Pietrangelo or the guys that kind of came before him. He doesn't score in the power play like he should with that shot either.
Right, and that brings me to my next point. We thought he was going to be good because why? He looks like Pronger.
Mm-hmm.
That was the reason they all thought he was going to be good. Well, there ain't very many Chris Prongers, first of all, and he ain't a shell of him. Okay, that's one. They signed up big money. What are they going to do with him? He's hasn't produced. The other 2 are still iffy. One of them is Robert Thomas. Aaron, wasn't it an $8 million deal for 5-6 years? Okay. I had a problem with that because you don't give $8 million to somebody unless they're a goal scorer. He's not. They're a great goalie. He's not a goalie. Or he's a first-class defenseman, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't give him $8 million. He's a good player, but he doesn't score goals. Last time I looked, that's pretty important. Or he doesn't stop goals. The other guy drives me nuts because this guy is a goal scorer. He does have talent. He is first rate, but he doesn't play like it. Is he a head case?
Yeah, I mean, I like Kalleward the most of the 3. But the biggest problem, I mean, the other 2 problems to me are Binnington's contract, which is too long and too much, and Tarasenko's contract, which is too long and too much. And we don't have any of those two-way guys that are dominant. So the Blues have a lot of work to do. We've seen that in the 7-game losing streak, Aaron. Now you see them laying minus 160 tonight. Can you bet on the Blues, or are you looking at the Sharks here?
Lock up the Blues. Easy win tonight. I expect 4 or 5 goals tonight. I expect 5-1, 5-2, something like that.
5 goals? You are predicting
1.5, baby. Play the
Should
pipeline.
be an easy win for St. Louis tonight against the hapless Sharks. Blues get going, and you know what? Then the Blues go on the road for 3 really tough games. Starting in Vegas, they're going to beat Vegas. That's not going to be a problem. Colorado won't be a problem for the Blues, and then the Blackhawks. So the Blues are going to win 4 in a row here, and we're all going to be not panicking. Listen, in all seriousness, I would bet the Blues tonight. I don't like San Jose at all. And listen, hockey is a lot like baseball. When you see a team and they've lost several in a row, you get the bounces, the law of averages, and eventually you get that win. I think that's tonight for St. Louis. I think they're going to win.
No.
Let's flip over to some teams that are actually enjoyable to watch on the ice. Right. We got the Flames heading into Boston tonight. Calgary, one of those teams that's 5-5, but has the talent to turn it around. Boston in an absolute roll, 11-2 already in this early season. Bruins minus 195. That seems like a big price to pay, Papa Dude. You interested in the Flames as a dog here?
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. The Flames, though, are struggling a little bit. They lost their best scorer, and they lost Tkachuk, right? That's two pretty big pieces.
Yep.
I think they're on a little bit of a downward spiral. They have trouble scoring. I like Boston tonight. I really like the way the Bruins play. You talk about consistent. I don't think I'd play the Flames tonight in Boston. I think Boston's too good, and they've got a little bit of rest. And I don't like Calgary in this game.
Aaron, any interest in the dog here? Are you with Papa Dude on Boston?
I'm with Boston tonight. This Calgary team, pretty inconsistent. They got a lot of new pieces. They're trying to kind of figure it all out. They lost some really good players off last year's team. I don't think they're awful. I don't think they're, a team that you need to take lightly. They might be able to sneak up and beat Boston tonight, but at the end of the day, I think the Bruins are just a little too good. I would lay the -1.5 with the Bruins. I think, maybe it's a 2-1, 3-2 type of game. They get an empty net late, something like that. I'll take the Bruins.
I would either I would agree with you, play the 1.5 or take the plus money. I don't like the -195 straight because I think it's either a spot where Boston kind of gives it to them or Calgary is able to make it a game. And then you want to have the dog in that spot. Other marquee game of the night, Oilers traveling into Raleigh here to face the Hurricane. A storyline that no one's really started talking about yet, but I think you have to. The last time we had a goal scorer go 50 goals in 50 games, Brett Hull in the early 90s. Connor McDavid, 14 goals through 14 games. Papa Dude, can he keep this pace up? Do we have a shot at seeing a 50-50 goal score, something I thought we would never see again in the NHL?
Well, you're right
late
about
90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, you're right about that. I love to watch him play. And the other kid, Draisaitl, I think his name, I love to watch him. I mean, they are an exciting hockey team to watch. Goalie situation's a little questionable for them. Carolina's tough to beat. I don't care where. They're coming off a bad loss last night.
Mm-hmm.
So their Oilers will be rested. I think this is a toss-up game, and this might be when you take a shot on the Oilers tonight. I think Carolina's favored, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're -145 at home. You get +125.
If I was going to bet a dog, I would bet this one before I would the Flames, I think. What do you think, Aaron?
Yeah, I agree. 2 nights ago, Edmonton went into Tampa Bay and won. 3 nights ago, they went into Washington and they gave them all they wanted and lost. And you mentioned it, back-to-back games for the Oilers tonight. I don't have a strong opinion either way on who should be favored or not. So in that case, I'll take the plus money on the Oilers. And yeah, this Connor McDavid thing's interesting, Somich. I mean, this is a guy that is just on quite a roll. We talked about him quite a bit when we were together for the Breeders' Cup. Every night you look at the stat sheet, he's got a goal. It's really, really incredible.
Yeah.
I think Somich
so far in the young season. 29 points so far in the young season.
He's back.
You froze
29 points so far in the young season through just 14 games. We'll see if he can kind of keep that pace going. We were going to talk about the NBA, but guess what? The NBA slate's no bueno. So we're not going to talk about any of these NBA games. We don't really like any of them. None of us put a bet in tonight. You got a bunch of mediocre teams facing mediocre teams. So let's jump over to college football where, to be honest, the slate's not much better, but at least I bet something. So let's talk about Georgia Southern against Louisiana here, a Fun Belt game on a Friday night. Georgia Southern going into Louisiana Lafayette, catching 3.5. I like the points here. I like Georgia Southern plus the 3.5. The hook is a key here for me. I wouldn't really be all that interested at 3, but getting the 3.5 with Georgia Southern, I think is the better team. And I really don't think Lafayette's advantage on the road or at home is that big. Lafayette also still getting a little love from the bettors from last season when they were a very good team covering quite a bit. Not nearly as good this year. Papa, do you have any thoughts here on the Georgia Southern Louisiana Lafayette game?
I've said this a lot of times. I don't have a very good, and that's why I'm so mad at myself last night for picking a MAC game because I these lesser conferences, unless there's a dominant team, and there really isn't this year in these lesser conferences, maybe a little bit Coastal Carolina, maybe when I pick them, they lose. Only game they lost all year. So your analysis is good. Louisiana is nothing like they were last year, and Georgia Southern can throw the ball, and Louisiana pass defense not real good. So that's a matchup there that Georgia Southern can win. I wouldn't bet Louisiana in this game because I don't think they're that much better. So I think your reasoning is very, very sound. Go with the dog in this game. And if Southern's ready, they should win. So we'll see.
Hopefully Southern can keep it rolling. I played first half plus I think it was 2 when I got it, and I'm going to take the 3.5 for the game. Hopefully we can go 1-1 at worst. I'd love that 2-0 though. Like Buffalo last night, still really frustrated with that. If you can't tell, I've already mentioned it twice. So
Yes. Oh, that would have killed me. I wouldn't have showed up today. You're really good. You're a real man there, Mike, for showing
That
up.
was the game that I didn't check on for hours.
I didn't either.
Hell, that's way over the top. Like that game's over, and then I check back and I'm like, they're behind. What the hell?
75-yard touchdown run, 83-yard touchdown run by a freshman quarterback. When the quarterback ran 24 times and threw 3, maybe we should have known he was going to be running the ball. Just a heads up out there when you got that kind of split.
I watched the go-ahead drive, and it's like, have they never seen a zone read or an option? Because they act clueless.
Aaron, did you see any of the Thunder game?
No.
Probably not. Now, I didn't either, and I just caught him talking about it this morning on Oklahoma radio station, how the Thunder blew that game against the Bucks. Mike, have you heard anything about something? They had a 1-point lead with
They were up late.
It was I think it was at the end of regulation. They had a 1-point lead with 1 second left, and they fouled. They fouled on the inbounds pass.
Wow.
And I think maybe they had a 2-point lead.
And they were a big underdog. So imagine if you had a bet placed on them plus money on the money.
Well, whoever was talking about it wouldn't admit that he had a bet, but he obviously did. He was livid. I can't remember the guy's name that fouled, but he said, I automatically hate this guy. I hate him. It was funny. It was hilarious.
Bucks snuck out of there with a 4-point win. Didn't cover the spread, but able to get the money line. Michael Olsen, guilty pleasure mind, The Challenge on MTV. Pretty easy choice for me there. That's one of the worst television shows that I drastically enjoy. So The Challenge on MTV is my guilty
tell him
pleasure.
where this is coming from. Tell him where this is coming
This
from.
was a long discussion last night on the show. Yeah.
What did you guys
All right,
pick? What was yours?
Taylor Swift was one. Mean Girls, the movie Mean Girls was one of mine.
That's a phenomenal movie. That's not a guilty pleasure. That's just a funny movie.
No.
Oh, yes, it is.
I won't
That's a
accept
guilty
that one.
pleasure.
I can't remember, Aaron. What was mine? I don't even remember.
I don't. You'd like to read romance novels, maybe?
Oh, that's right.
Papa dude.
No, I'll tell you. This,
Tom guy. I had no idea.
Yeah.
that's right. I don't like to admit it, but do you know who Nicholas Sparks is?
Oh, Jesus. The Notebook dude.
That's right. That's where it came
Yeah.
from. And every once in a while, listen, Mike, I like his novels. I do. Guilty pleasure. But here's what I do. When I go to the bookstore, okay, I will go to a female if I buy a Nicholas Sparks book. I don't go to the male because I don't want him to think bad of me.
Is this how you meet the ladies now? Is that how you got the is that a move? I want to know, Papa. Dude, do you buy 3 books?
Sandy. If Sandy's with me, I'll say, here, go buy this.
You buy 3 books and put the Nicholas Sparks in the middle so no one can see the cover or the bottom when you're at the checkout?
Dude, that's right. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Oh man. Yeah, that's a good one, Papa Dude. That is a strong guilty pleasure. But hey, if you enjoy it, do it to it, man.
I
Have
don't
fun.
read them every once. It's just every once in a while, I read one.
Yeah, there you go.
They're not bad.
Well, we can agree to disagree on that one. All right, let's head over to horse racing. We have Aqueduct back, and we actually have an interesting race here. We're going to go to the 6th race. It's what we're considering the feature of the day. Optional claimers, 9 winners of 3, going a mile and an eighth. Absolutely loaded field of 7 here. You've got an entry, the 1 Glen County, and the 1A Atone, which is 7-5 on the morning line. Aaron, you're gonna try and beat these two, or you're gonna let them go? You're gonna let Atone go gate to wire.
I hate Atone. I do, but I like Atone in this race today. You just look at what this horse has been facing. It's been some of the better horses that run, in the country on the turf. And he's close. He's close every time, except for last time out when he was in a really tough race at Grade 1 at Keeneland. But these other races, the horses he's finishing behind are very, very good. You look at this spot, there's not a lot in here. And you hit it right on the head. The horse should be on the lead and has a jockey that's going to put him on the lead. He should go gate to wire in this spot. This is a big time drop down in class. It's now or never, though. He has to win in this spot, or I will never even look at him again. So I did go Atone on top.
Papa Dude?
Well, I did too, and but that's not surprising. I kind of like cold hard cash a little bit in this one too. I'm probably going to pick the one, Mike, that you like the best as my least favorite. Seems like I do this a lot. I don't like value engineering at all. Is that the one you like?
Good fade. No, I don't like value engineering either.
Okay.
I think this is a tough spot to beat a tone. So I have a tone on top here. I think the upset shot here is the 3-horse event. If you're going to go anywhere, Dreams of Tomorrow, second off a layoff out in the 5-year-old season. Shug McGahee, 17%, second off a layoff. But really, your only other option for any speed in this race. And I think you could just see it go 1A3 all the way around this track. So if I was going to go, I singled the 1A in a lot of stuff. If I was going to go deeper, I would take the 3. And one thing about a tone is you get Glenn County with him here.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Like you have the fastest horse who's going to be on the lead, should be the fastest and probably the best horse who's going to be on the lead. But you also have a horse coming from off the pace where if for some reason there is pressure, you've got a good horse that's going to be trying closing into that pressure as well. This entry could run 1-2.
Yeah, you got to do that.
I pray that the one regular one wins the race, and we cash a ticket on a tone because he's coupled. That I pray that happens.
You just got to couple up endorsed with someone, and then maybe we can get endorsed home one of these times as well. That's Aqueduct 6th race. They're back today, they're back today. They're not Aqueduct, they're back. We've got Del Mar coming up this weekend, so get right into the swing of things after a pretty busy Breeders' Cup weekend. All right, let's jump over to the best bets here. We've got some bets from the ice, and then I'm going to head to the NFL game tonight, so we'll cover that last. We'll cover Thursday Night Football at the end of the show here. Aaron, you want to kick us off with a little money line parlay?
Yeah. So I got plus 130 on Montreal last night. It came in, and so I was trying to get something similar to that for the parlay today, and I did. I was able to get plus 129 on this one. The Devils and the Senators, that's the first leg of it here, going to start at 6 o'clock Central. The Senators are bad, and the Devils are good, and the Devils are at home. What more do I really need to say about that? Senators really struggling. Devils, big surprise at 10-3. I thought they'd be decent, but not 10-3 type good. So they're the first leg of it. Not real worried about that one. Go on to the second leg of it. The Avalanche are at home against the Predators tonight. I took Colorado. I'm not overly high on Colorado so far this year. After a really sharp start, they have looked pretty average. So, I don't think they're great, but you look at this game, the Predators, I don't think they're very good. I'm down on them. I don't think they're great. I just thought, the price here, they're both together minus 190 for the Devils and minus 190 for the Avalanche. So, if you wanted to play, just the money line or a goal and a half minus the goal and a half, you might do that. I really like them both, but I'd like to parlay them up here to get the plus money bet. Like I said, I think the Avalanche, I don't think they're great. I do think they beat Nashville. They kind of starting to get going a little bit after a little bit of a slump early in the season. So I like it. I like Colorado, and I like New Jersey tonight.
Yeah, the Avalanche, you feel that Stanley Cup hangover with them. McKinnon, 3 goals so far. Not really getting it done. He has 16 assists for 19 points, but just 3 goals from their premier goal scorer. He needs to start picking it up for them, and they need to just start getting it going. I don't have any worry about them in the postseason, but at some point, they got to flip that switch. You can't wait too long here if you want to be able to get home ice advantage.
They came into this homestand, and they've got a 5-game homestand. They came into it with a losing record, and now it's like, okay, they're starting to win. They won 2 in a row, and now you got a Nashville team, and then you got Carolina and the Blues coming in. So you definitely can get right in a big way, win 4 out of 5, and I think they're going to get the job done tonight. And again, a Nashville team that's not great.
All right, Papa Dude, let's head to your game of the day here. This is one that I almost picked as my best bet, so I'm glad when you texted it over that you went in this direction. Tell us about why you like the Flyers tonight.
Okay, I think they should be favored, and they're not. And I really, Columbus is about as bad as the Blues. Yep. We just don't follow Columbus. So I'm sure they're saying the same thing in Columbus that we are here in Missouri and in North Carolina, since you're a Blues fan. So this just, again, seems too obvious. So I'm a little worried about that. You never know in hockey. But the Flyers, I think they're really good. I watched them a lot against the Blues. So I know you can't really tell anything, but they're solid. They're well coached. They're playing well. And if they're ready to play, I don't see any reason why they don't beat Columbus tonight. So I'm going with that one. Aaron, I love your pick a lot. I can't believe we're getting plus 129 on that one.
Yeah.
That's really good. Another thing about the Avalanche, I just want to mention for a second, they haven't played very many games. They've only played 11 games. And that's not a lot. A lot of these teams, like you take the Capitals, they played 15 games. So they need to start playing a few games and get to rolling a little bit. But McKinnon has got to start scoring. He has to. So I love them tonight against Nashville. And the Devils are playing great. They should win against Ottawa. So let's hope we get these hockey ones in tonight.
With the Flyers, real quick before we go on with the Flyers, Carter Hart has been fantastic in goal. That has been the big difference. If he can keep that up, they're going to be tough.
It's on the Columbus side, currently giving up 4.5 goals a game. That's not very good, especially when your leading point scorer is Johnny Gaudreau, who has 9 on the year. So not a great combination there for Columbus. I'm shocked that they're plus money here as well. I love that Papa dude. All right, let's head over to NFL and let's talk about Thursday night football here. We've got a rematch of one of the better games of the year. 2 weeks ago, we saw an overtime game between Carolina and Atlanta with a wild outcome, a Hail Mary, a missed extra point, a missed field goal in overtime. Atlanta survives by 3. They were a 4-point favorite at home. Now you're laying 2.5 on the road with Atlanta in Carolina. It's supposed to be 15-mile-per-hour winds, rain in the 60s for tonight's forecast, which may affect the under here. The over took a little steam early in the week. Now the under's getting bet. Papa Dude, any thoughts here on Thursday night football?
Well, I like how you described the game of the year.
It was entertaining, especially someone at Carolina +4. I was pretty happy with how that
I would really
game
go to the Lizzo concert and say that's the game of the year. But anyway, do I have any thoughts? Well, last night on the show, I picked Carolina. Today, I went back there. I don't know if you noticed or not, but I changed it.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know where you're going here, Mike, with your best bet, so I'm not going to talk about it very much, but this is a huge game for Atlanta. They need this game bad. So
yeah, it's interesting because we have Atlanta playing on Thursday night, and you have the Bucs playing Sunday morning. The Bucs are slight favorites, 2.5 over Seattle. I kind of like Seattle in that game. Right now in the division, the Bucs are -330 to win this NFC South. Atlanta is +320.
Yeah.
That's wrong. If you like Atlanta tonight, betting Atlanta +320, I think, is actually a smarter way to play the game because you're getting 3-1 on a division where they have an easier schedule to win out here. My best bet, I'm going to go to a running back here who's coming back for Atlanta, and we're going to take an anytime touchdown. I think this line is just straight up wrong. Anytime touchdown, Cordell Patterson +105. His first game back was last week. He got 13 carries to Hudley's 10. But the key to me is he was on the field for every single snap Atlanta took inside the 5. He is the only one who got a carry inside the 5. He got 3 of them. 2 of them he converted for touchdowns. And Hundley was only on the field 1 time inside the 20-yard line. So clearly Atlanta's go-to back in the red zone is Cordell Patterson. Huntley's not going to vulture touchdowns. If anything, it's going to be the other way around. Patterson got 13 carries last week. Hundley got 10. That will continue to go in the opposite direction as Patterson gets healthy. This is his second game back. And oh, by the way, Carolina faced 40 rushes last week and gave up 5 touchdowns to Mixon. Their run defense is not good. So I have a feeling you're going to see Atlanta run the ball like they do every single week. And Cordell Patterson's going to get all the red zone touches. So +105 to me just seems off here, especially when Hudley's like +135. They shouldn't be that close. Patterson should be a significant favorite in this market. Aaron, what are your thoughts on tonight's game? What do you think of CPAC getting in the end zone?
I'm glad you picked that and not a side because this is one I'll stay away from as far as the sides go. I think this is a huge game for a team that is not very good, and I think they're going to get beat. So I'm going to go Carolina to beat the Falcons because I think the Falcons could move into first place by themselves because Seattle's going to beat Tampa, in my opinion. This is the type of game that a team that is going to win a division wins. End of the day, I don't know who's going to win it. I think they're going to have a losing record, and I think that's going to be because of games like this. I think Carolina beats the Falcons tonight in a barn burner, 20-17.
Oh, I will. Do you want to go bottle tequila? I'll give you my or +2.5 with Carolina. I'll take -2.5 with Atlanta.
I just said I'm not picking a side in this game. You're forcing me to pick a winner, and I have to do that for the show. But no, I'm not betting. I wouldn't bet you 1 penny on this game and take Carolina. Are you kidding me? I mean,
we're betting about tequila, not any money.
Well, I mean, Look,
It should be a fun Thursday night
It's
game.
going
At
to be the
least.
game of the year, no doubt about it.
Come on, man. I do think the under is the right way to go. We've seen this total go up from 39, I believe it was 39 or 40 in that dome game, and now we're outside in inclement weather, and you're telling me the total is 2.5 points higher. That seems like an overreaction to what happened a couple of weeks ago. So I would lean toward Aaron's 20-17-esque score, which would easily go under the total of 42.5 here. So if I was going to play a side or a total, I would lean under. If I was going to play a side, I would bet Atlanta to win the division and take that plus 320 number versus minus 150 or laying the 2.5.
I could see Atlanta winning the division and still losing this game. That's how weird this division is.
Well, that's kind of the other bonus of playing the division. You can be wrong tonight and still cash your bet. Whereas a lot of times you can't do that when you're betting on a single game, right? If you're wrong, you're gonna lose. All right, let's jump to our best bets. Review this before we sign off here. We've got Papa Dude taking the Flyers plus 105. Aaron going with a Devils Avalanche parlay plus 129. I am going to take Cordell Patterson anytime touchdown plus 105 here. Thank you very much for joining us here on Dudes Who Bet Daily. 1 for 2 so far for the week. With down $70 for the year, we're up $1,319 off $100 base bet. We'll be back tomorrow at noon and then Saturday at 11 a.m. so we can get out in those early kickoffs. Good luck, whether you're playing the ponies or the sports tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.